Hello and welcome to the latest in our series of videos about mortality. I'm Paul Holger from Macro Analytics and I'm here with my colleague Andy Wilson.
Hello.
Today we're going to focus on the standardised mortality indicators that are used within the NHS, with particular focus in the first instance on the summary hospital level mortality indicator, the SHIMI. The aim for any hospital standardised mortality ratio is to provide what a cliche would say, a smoke alarm, an indicator that maybe something needs further investigation. May or may not be an issue to look at, but the duty on anybody is to investigate anything. There's quite a number of different methodologies used in the NHS, and to some extent that may be seen as confusing, and that may be true, but no assurance should be taken from any one indicator being okay. If there's an indicator that is suggesting there's an issue to look at, then that should be investigated. These different indicators have arisen mainly for historical reasons, and we'll look at each of these in turn. So let's first look at SHIMI. This is produced by NHS Digital, so it is produced by the NHS for the NHS. To a large extent it came out of the result of a mid-staff's inquiry, so that the NHS has some sort of control about the information that it was producing about mortality. It's published quarterly using 12 months hospital activity data and 36 months of national hospital activity data to construct the model.
So how up to date is it when it's published?
Well, just have a look at this chart. The black boxes represent the months that are included in each of the SHIMI releases, shown down the left-hand column. So in March 2017, it was hospital data from October 2015 to September 2016 that was included. As you can see, this means that on the day of release, the most recent data is 6 months old, and the earliest data is 18 months old. And shortly before the next release is due out, latest data is between 9 and 21 months old.
Whoa, can't anything be done to improve that?
Well, in terms of timeliness, something already has been done. In fact, the indicator is now produced a month earlier than it used to be, and there are ongoing efforts to improve that by maybe another month. But a certain amount of time is required for other data processing, for hospitals to submit their national data, for data validation, to include deaths within 30 days post-discharge, and to trusts to be able to validate it before it becomes public. So there's always going to be some time of delay. And remember, in terms of the oldest data, a full 12 months is required to take out the seasonal effect. So there is always going to be quite a long period of time for the oldest data that's included in the indicator.
Wouldn't that affect all hospitals?
Well, probably, but perhaps not in an equal manner across all trusts. And as we'll see in a later video, the more data we've got, the more confident we can be about the figures that are being produced. And if we reduced it from anything less than 12 months activity, that would reduce the amount of statistical confidence we've got in the data. So it's probably best sticking in how it is. Anyway, back to the chart. You might have noticed that black boxes overlap.
I didn't notice that. What's that all about?
Well, this is because SHIMI is released on a quarterly basis, and yet we're always talking about 12 months data. So that means that 3/4 of the information from in the latest SHIMI release is actually already been included in the previous SHIMI releases. And that's shown by the blue boxes.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Well, neither. It's just something you need to be aware of. But it is another factor why values for an individual trust don't change much over time, because 3/4 of the data is the same.
So is it quite hard to change our SHIMI quickly then?
Yes, even if you had an excellent idea and had excellent persuasion skills and able to implement it tomorrow, you would find that it actually takes some time, well, as you've seen, 6 to 7 months before the first activity of with your change in it is actually included in the data, and up to 19 or even 21 months before you actually see a full year effect in the data.
And what effect will other trusts improving have on my own data?
Well, that is a good point. Everybody's striving to improve, which is obviously a good thing, and that means that the England mortality rates are coming down over time. But because this model is rebased at every release, England is always a value of 1. So it's a case of really running to stand still. So your improvements may not necessarily manifest itself in a reduced SHIMI value if everybody else has been improving at the same sort of rate. So just to reiterate some of the main points of SHIMI that are different to the other indicators. First of all, it just covers the teaching and district general hospitals in England, which is currently 136 trusts. Secondly, it includes deaths within 30 days of discharge. And thirdly, it makes no adjustment for palliative care. In our next video, we'll talk about the differences and attributes of the other mortality indicators, the HSMR and RAMI. Goodbye for now.